Greetings everyone, Agion here, another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the north side as the Bretons, we have SonOfTyr. Or, no wait, that's Frank's. Oops, I may need to edit that title. And spawn on the left side as the Koreans, hopefully that's Koreans, yeah. The Koreans, we have Goldeneye. I could have sworn while I was looking at the symbol down here, I thought that was Bretons, but now looking at it, yeah, that's definitely Frank's. Oops. Also, sorry for the late start, I forgot to add in turn on my microphone, which is actually quite important when trying to do one of these casts. So either way, let's go ahead and fast forward, because people are just in the beginning stages of just gathering resources. We got the sheep going in at it one by one, very nice. Maybe see a boar relatively soon. And actually, we got a bit of a split order here. We do got quite a bit of wood being gathered, unless there's... Oh, there's actually wood being gathered over here as well. And we do actually have a pretty nice, safe relic for both sides. I'm not super familiar with this map. Looks like there's two relics very close by. Where's the fifth one? Looks like just in the center. Also a lot of high ground advantage. And now we do got the boar. Actually, that's the second boar. I guess it could be a bit strange with the fast forward pace, but I don't really think you really care for the, actually, brief garrison there. I don't think you really care for the watching stuff whack at a dead animal, literally beating a dead, well, not horse, but deer, boar, and just guiding it away. And oh, we still got feudal age. Both players at feudal age, both getting the axe now. And we do see a handful of spearmen as well as another scout. Looks like, is there probably a scout rush for a red? He's getting spearmen probably for something, just some extra safety versus a opposing scout rush. And you have some archers. Looks like he's going to start walling off with his houses. Up here, we do see a bit of a wall off. I wonder if this is actually biddable terrain. Probably not. But Spearman's actually quite far forward, so not in the reserve side. And actually, we do got the scouts over here. And let's go ahead and put it down the normal pace. Looks like the scouts have got picked off a bit by the spearmen. There's also a lot of archers here, and scouts don't have any sort of armor, maybe just one. Actually, no, they have two pierce armor. And peeled off one scout away over there, which will give him, well, save it, of course. And will it distract him away? Two scouts can't accomplish all too much with two scouts. So, yeah, I don't think he will be able to get much harassment done other than just being annoying. Which being annoying can actually be really annoying. And looks like those scouts get killed off. Looks like he moved over there, then got aggroed. Quite a bit of farms here. Farms is this? 1, 2, 3. Actually, looks like not all farms are being utilized. Or yeah, looks like this farm's not actually being utilized. Looks like maybe it was this guy who should be on that farm. Over here, we do got some more wood. We do got wheelbarrow being researched. Let's go ahead and put a slightly faster pace. We do see a potential harassment force being queued on up. This is actually quite a significant group of units. Spearmen for defense against those scouts that we've been seeing, and as well as a good number of archers. Let's see, we do have some reserve of archers, and I'm not really sure how much. Actually, skirmishers most likely. Blacksmith going down, so you may be able to pick off some of these, does pick off a villager. Let's go ahead and put it down ×1. Going straight for the gold up here. Appears to be a large number of skirmishers. And this skirmisher, I don't know why, but that spearman looks like it's neutral color, the white color. Second villager goes down. So overall, he's lost what, 3 villagers? There's a tab for that, but let's wait until after combat. Do good. Starter step micro. Now it looks like he's going to put a bit more damage there. Did lose something there. It's hard to tell with the house. An archer goes down. He's trying to wall off, trying to deny their escape of the villager there. Or maybe he was just trying to build a wall in general. skirmisher is quite low. Does pick off the low health, another low health skirmisher. And we do got Castle Age there, and he knows it for sure. It's a big change of buildings, and more villagers going down. Very nice. This has been a very good villager harass, unlike those scouts. Doesn't pick off that low health archer. There goes. And we see. I wonder what these guys over here been doing. Ooh, I wonder how deadly that group was. Because all the focus is over here, including my own focus. So I wonder how many villagers they got. That wood line seems awfully sparse. It looks like we do got some reinforcements here. He may have the forces here to engage the skirmishers, assuming he gets the high ground advantage. There we go. He has high ground advantage. And it looks like these forces actually getting collapsed upon by both sides. And he can go and take this force and attack once again. Because he just eliminated the defense force and not any reinforcements. We do see some knights actually being queued on up. I'm not sure how many knights have been queued up. But against those skirmishers and archers, those knights would do a significant amount of damage. Let's see, there's a tab for villagers lost, right? Go to death ratios here, so it's definitely in favor of blue. There doesn't appear to be any villagers lost tab. I could have sworn there was one. Still, you can see here, 19 killed versus a 10. That's killing even an army as well. It's like, that was a very effective harassment. At that point, it may not even be considered harassment, more like just a standard assault. You have town center over here, so if that force does come down here once again, you can quickly put these villagers inside, and town center can easily fight off archers and skirmishers, and a handful of spearmen. You have 4 knights here going for a knight harassment. A lot of farms. Some here. Oh, looks like scout. I think he has the automated. This could be the automated scout. Which is a good idea if you don't want to focus on. Just throw an automatic scout on the far edge of the map and just have him just scout everything out automatically. Sort of the name implies. Both players now have Castle Age. Hopefully we'll see a monastery to grab those relics, because those relics are very safe. Got the knights going on in. We'll kill off some of the spearmen, which is a good target, but there's just way too many guys here. They're going to get quickly focus fired. Just one down to one last guy, and yeah, there goes that knight. How was the kill to death ratio? Both sides went up by 4, so that was not a good usage of those knights. We have a second town center going down. That's actually a third town center. Is there a third town center over here? Yes, there is actually a third town center. So Loretta is slightly ahead in villager production, which is going to be necessary for the amount of villagers he lost. It actually has a significant number more villagers. I should have looked at that number. He does also have 2 idle, which is not super great. Upgrades aren't going down. We do have Oninger, or is it Maganel or Oninger first? I always get those 2 names mixed up. I think it's Maganel. Maganel will be a perfect item against this force. There is a couple pikemen here, but not enough to really ward away against this large number of knights. I would assume these knights will go in and be quite successful. And actually, the Maganel is going to be ungarrisoned and ready to fire. Does get a good hit, being a significant amount of damage done. Knights are going on in now, but there is these couple trees here being very annoying. Knights are way outnumbered. We'll kill off all the pikemen and spearmen, leaving just these very vulnerable archers. But the archers do have good stutter step. He needs to make sure he sends out a couple of these knights to the side and try to come back around just to try to body block them. Because overall, the stutter step is quite good for the blue player. Red player is the Frank player, so the Korean player, as in the faction he chose, not as the actual origin. Well, I should get an idea that he's going to go for a lot of knights and cavalry, so a pikeman focus would be quite important. Can Koreans get halberds? I can't remember of all the countries who get what and what. All that I know off the top of my head is that the Turks, the Ottomans, the Turks don't only get rid of spearmen and not even pikemen. And I'd rather not take the time to pause and look it up. Looks like one of these gold deposits are starting to be cleaned up. He could potentially throw some villagers over here just so he gets more surface area to work with. Are coming on forward. None of them are quite wounded. Actually, he's pulling back the wounded ones. And it looks like he's going to retreat with them. Perhaps he has a monk back at home. And hopefully he picks up those relics then, if he has a monk at home. And these guys are not attacking. Nice little wall off with the actual gate, but will get quickly overwhelmed. The villager does in fact go down, but there's a number of pikemen now moving on forward. Focus firing the low health ones, very good. And starting to hit some of these villagers now. We'll get another villager there. Picks up another knight, but now there's all these... Another villager does in fact go down. The knights over there have been cleaned on up. Still got two more knights over here, hitting the stone line now, forcing a mass withdrawal of all the villagers. If he would have had a bit more time getting that palace side gate up, that would have been crucial for protecting those villagers, but not so much. Overall, I'll still say blue may be in a better position. He has a significant number or less of villagers. Red has not built any more villagers, and how many does he have? He only has 84, so maybe he's diverting all his income. Let's go ahead and pull up the tab for income. Yeah, Red doesn't have a whole lot of food. Enough for a handful of villagers, which he's just queued up now. Blue needs to make sure he gets his villager production on point. I just thought of StarCraft 2, Koreans. He's doctoring the Korean name proudly. Not getting his villager micro or worker micro up. You got a fourth town center being deployed. You got a couple skirmishers and a scout here. He spreads them out, potentially could use them as an early warning system. We have another town center over here as well, so both players have 4 town centers. A red space just seems a bit more, based on the mini-map, a bit bigger to say the least. But that's not exactly a good indication of anything, really. Do we see those relics being picked up? No, we don't see the relics being picked up. He has the monks, just not the micro forward, I guess. It's one of those things, like, if I see relics, you have monks, pick them up, especially when it's literally inside your base, ×2. And that's not technically inside the base, but close enough. This one's not inside the base, but still a safe grab. In fact, the monastery... Oh no, that's the university. Did we actually see a monastery? I don't see one. I don't see a monk queued up either, so there's no excuse for red. He should still get it. And there we go, we got the monks picking up the relics now. Maybe it's like Dora Explorer. The louder I shout, the more likely to do it. We have more and more knights being researched, as well as upgrades. Hopefully we'll see more and more pikemen. He's going for a lot of crossbowmen, but he knows he gets Franks. He should really get more pikemen. Korea can't get camels. Yeah, that's... Camels don't exist there. Though the origin of the camel and the horse, the ancient ancestor to them... Ooh, that wasn't a wall off. the castle should be almost built, and that's a pretty good choke point anyway. The origin of horses and camels, the ancient ancestor, is actually from North America, not from the steppes. How they got from North America to the steppes? The same thing that brought the Native Americans over as well. The Bering Strait when it froze during the Ice Age. We do got a forward base now being deployed. We do have a castle as well as a handful of stables. Over there is just a mining camp. So it's a siege workshop, so perhaps we'll see some trebuchet and some battering rams. Against the composition of archers and always loom of pikemen and halberdiers, onagers would be quite good. And we do got a large number of knights actually being queued on up. Knights here ready for assault. And there's actually a lot of holes being poked open thanks to the clearing out of all those trees. And the mining camps, I think there was gold there, or stone. Gold right there as well, so this hole is being opened up by the resources used as walls. And we got paladins, some of those cavaliers. Blast furnace being researched. And we got the hourglass upgrade being researched, as well as a handful of pikemen. And may get some good damage off, but it takes quite a bit of number of arrows to kill off any single one. Pikemen, however, will do some great damage. We do got some villagers here, and he doesn't know about this area. Does Red have vision of the area? Castle. Oh, his army's falling back. He does not know. He does not know. Does Red know? He doesn't know. It's literally right here. Let's see. Fog of War. Look at that, 2 tiles. But they're both Imperial Age. Trebuchets would be quite common. Blue, what's your vision? When this pops up, he's going to see everything. And now Red definitely knows thanks to all the arrows being fired. Another town center being built. This is a very dangerous mining operation. This castle here will prevent any sort of flanking opportunity as well by this force. And now we do have a trebuchet coming on. Do we have a trebuchet being built? No, we don't. He does not know that the castle's there. That castle's going to be very short-lived. And we actually do got cavaliers up here being attacked. Attacking the villagers. Force still to get cleaned up. Looks like only one villager may have gone down. And now we do have all these cavaliers now pushing on forward. There is a single Mangonel, the unupgraded Mangonel. Does get a cavalier right there. And these arbalets can't get overwhelmed. There's also a huge hole there, multiple holes in the walls, to say the least. The town center is here, as well as a handful of barracks. More and more cavaliers being researched. The castle shortly to go down to bring up his own trebuchet in order for a counter barrage. But there goes the castle, and he's outnumbered 2-1, so that trebuchet will not last very long. We also got regular archers here. Pikemen are moving on forward, but they're going to get quickly overwhelmed by all the cavaliers. Arbalest here will get chewed up by these knights, cavaliers. I don't think we see paladin upgrade is on the way. And those arbalests are very bunched up. Oh, we also got some throwing axemen to support this force, which are great versus skirmishers and can be used against buildings. But there goes the arbalists. Though they did clean up most of the paladins, they can still withstand quite a bit of a beating from the town center. More and more villagers going down. What's the villager count at? Red does have a huge number of villagers, probably a little too much. We do got now halberdiers. Oh, going straight for these villagers. Hasn't managed got good production up. What's the resources like? There's plenty of food and wood. He needs to start spamming out a bunch of halberdiers. Now these paladins just streaming on in, killing a bunch of villagers, but there is plenty. Oh, and looks like he went ahead and surrendered. Overall, I would say there was generally a misread on the Korean players' composition. He knows he's facing against Franks, and they're just going to just spam out the knights and cavalry. And so I would say there's a bit of a misread of what the Korean players should have done. He should have focused more on the pikemen and halberdiers rather than the arbalists. By the way, this is a good replay. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.